Well, today's Christmas, and my wife gave me a fantastic Christmas present. You can see that? It's a guitar magazine from 1997, July 1997. And clearly, Stevie Ray Vaughan on the cover. So, it says Rediscovering Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Lost Photos. Maybe I'll put some of these up here while I'm running my mouth. You know what's so cool about these magazines, back in the day before the internet, this was the only way you could find out what was going on out there in the guitar playing world. So I always look forward to going to the newsstand and getting the new guitar magazine. I don't know if it's the same one. There's one called Guitar Player. I don't know if this is Guitar Player. It might be two separate things. I know there were at least two, but Guitar Player was the main one that I bought. Maybe this was either previously Guitar Player and they changed it to Guitar, or it was just two separate deals. Somebody will let me know. But it was so much fun to get these magazines each month and read all through these things. So here's 1997. Let's find out what was going on in the music world, the rock music world in '97. This is pretty interesting. I just about read this entire magazine. But this is pretty interesting. I doubt you can see that, but anyway. So, Warren Haynes, Alan Woody quit the Allman Brothers Band. Remember, this is 1997. So, basically, I'll just give you a synopsis. Warren Haynes and Alan Woody, clearly Warren Haynes was a guitar player and Alan Woody was the bass player. So they quit Allman Brothers to go form Government Mule. And says Government Mule was created in '94, 5 years after Haynes joined the Allman Brothers Band. That's interesting because I went to see the Allman Brothers in, I want to say it was '89. And it was a 20th reunion tour. That's how it was built. We went down to Jacksonville, and it was an outdoor venue, Metropolitan Park. A guy came up with a pad. He starts asking us questions, but he's a journalist with the paper. So he asked me a few questions, and I answered him. And lo and behold, Monday, I was quoted in the newspaper. He used my quote, and I got a kick out of that. I was young. I was like 20 years old. What was interesting about that show was the fact that I had no idea who Warren Haynes was. I just see this big fat guy over here playing guitar, and I'm thinking, who the hell is this? So about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes into the show, I'm not kidding. You can't make it up. Greg Allman falls off the piano stool, and they carry him off. So Dickie Betts comes onto the mic and he goes, "Well, looks like we got a man." He says, "Looks like we got a man down, but we're going to keep it going for y'all," something like that. Because, they were in the middle of a song. And so anyway, after that, Warren started singing all the rest of the songs. Oh, man. It was a better show. It really was. And then after that, he really just, like some of the slide parts, he started playing, and I was like, who is this guy? This is unbelievable. I'm pretty sure it was Roger Williams told me, my buddy's daddy. I said, who was that fat guy playing just blistering the guitar? And he said, oh, that's Warren Haynes. So basically he's saying we've known for a while this would happen, and we've tried to pick the biggest window between tours to make the transition as smooth as possible. and basically they're saying that, you know, everything was very amicable, and I, I don't care what it is. Any garage band bust up is not amicable. You know, it's just that's just the way it goes. There's always going to be tension in bands, and whether people like to admit it or not, you know, there's always, you know, feuding going on. A great example, you know, take Almost Famous, how much they're complaining, you know, backstage about the tension in the band. But I think one of the best examples was that movie, The Rocker, which is a really good movie. I like that movie. But they, right at the beginning of that movie, he gets kicked out of his own band. I mean, that's kind of things that happen in bands all the time. I couldn't imagine on the scale of, you know, a touring band that's basically, you know, selling out arenas all the time. Could you imagine? But I thought this was really cool, showing Stevie Ray. I like when we started playing, Stevie Ray was not, he hadn't hit yet. I think Texas Flood came out in 1983. Check me on that. But he was so that sound on that album, and my buddy just texted me the other day. Yes, you know, Stevie Ray comes up on his you know, streaming music. I just remember now how cool that record sounds, how well done it is, and it really was. It was something else. I mean, at the time, you know, that period of time, nothing was clean. I mean, nobody was playing clean guitar like that. I mean, he used a tube screamer, you know, a little bit, but I mean, all that stuff was so clean that he was playing, and just the sound. I hadn't tried to play it in years. But when that came out, nothing sounded like that. I mean, it was basically new wave stuff. You know, that stuff was coming over from England, so it was really electronic drums, electronic music. It was really the heyday of electronica, is what they called it, and it was called, you know, Second British Invasion, New Wave, and so basically stuff on the radio. I remember one of the artists I secretly liked, because I couldn't really tell anybody. High school, man. Was Thomas Dolby, and One of Our Submarines Is Missing. I don't know what year that was, but that was in that era. I like that song. I like Thomas Dolby, and really, She Blinded Me with Science was on the radio, and that was kind of the hit. But the rest of that album's really good. But that was the kind of stuff that was on the radio during that point in time, and you know, nobody was listening to anything. Nobody was listening to blues. When that record came out, there was so much there that you could actually hear, and it was so clean that you could really start to kind of get an idea of what he was doing, and so many people started, like I was one of them, that just started emulating his style. Then later on came Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and it was just everybody was imitating him to the point where, you know, if you're still imitating Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, the 80s called. They want their guitar style back. But this was a really good Christmas present for me, because the nostalgia of it, especially it being Stevie. He was, I mean, I cried when this dude died. I love this man. I mean, today's Christmas. And if you've got a guitar player, if you have a guitar player in your life and you want to make them happy, just buy them strings of the very few times I ever got a pack of strings in my stocking, that was one of the best presents you can ever give to a guitar player. And it's only like what, like $10 now? I don't know, but they used to be like $5 or $6. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. And Merry Christmas, everybody.